Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan. And this morning, actually, a nice and impromptu stream. I fucked up putting it out. I was actually supposed to put it on public last night. I ended up leaving it on private. That's why no one got any of the notifications. But today, we are going through the Premier League fixture list for Tottenham Hotspur as it is out. Sean, how are you keeping, my man? The season is coming upon us, my man.
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm tired. Like it's a bit early for me to be streaming and stuff, but I'm good. I'm excited. The news is out, and of course, we're going to go through not just Tottenham. We've got to look at some of the other teams as well, right? Just to have some of our threats, some of our competition, to see what their run-ins are like and how they start. And there's already a bit of a conspiracy theory, Dave. I've just seen this one. I've got to drop this to you already. You know, we always say how the Premier League favours Liverpool.
Yeah,
Liverpool are the first team in Premier League history, in top flight history, to face a newly promoted side at home in their first league game of the season in 4 consecutive seasons. Talk about give them a nice early start, a nice easy game to get going with.
Bloody it's a joke. It's a joke. It always happens. Look, when it comes to Liverpool, I mean, you know, it's absolutely ridiculous. They always get the rub of the green, Shawnee. But look, we will dive into the fixtures. I just want to welcome a few people in. We have Alfie Goslin says, hope all is well. Big up, my man. Good to see you in the house. All is good, brother. Zoe says, morning, Dave. Just finished my morning meeting. Great timing. Really appreciate that. Big up, Zoe. Good to see you in the house. Rico Z99 says, we are finishing top next season. You hear me all right. Absolutely love that, Rico. I love the optimism, my man. Anthony Gray says, good morning, all. Everything seems to be going swimmingly, and there's optimism in the air for us. Looking forward to the start of the season with hopefully more ins and outs and new heights of optimism. Look, Basuma, I believe he's having his medical today at Tottenham Hotspur. Fabrizio Romano gave it the here we go about 1 o'clock last night as well. So I'd expect that to be kind of announced and confirmed today, along with more outgoings and incomings as well before the window closes. Jason Williams says, good morning, buzzing for the new season to start. Best time to play Chelsea is second. Well, we'll ask Shawnee his opinion on that. Jetro Zulu says, we're winning the league next season. Absolutely love that, Jetro. I hope you're keeping well, my man. Alfie Goslin says, doing fine as we are getting some new signings and the fixtures have been released. Exactly, my man. It's getting exciting. The season is upon us. The Hottest Spurs says, good morning to everyone and big up. All these other fans are quaking in their boots. They can't stop talking about us. And even they're saying we're going to win something. Absolutely buzzing. Well, that's what we want, Rico. I mean, we believe. In Conte we trust, my man. In Conte we trust. We definitely believe. But everybody, make sure you do smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. And I know it's early, guys, but feel free to get in the super chat with your thoughts or anything like that. But look, Shawnee, we will get into some of these fixtures here. As you can see, look, we'll start with preseason. You can see preseason 16th of July. We are playing Sevilla out in Korea. Or is that one out in Korea? I'm not sure.
No, that's the one in Israel, isn't it? Tel Aviv?
No, I think Rome is the one in
Rome is in Tel Aviv. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then we have Rangers on the 23rd of July. Up in the Ibrox. I'm sure that'll be a tasty fixture for any away fans going. And then, of course, Roma on the 30th of July in Israel. But then the season kicks off in August, starting the 6th of August. Shawnee, first fixture at home to Southampton, my man. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice one. I'd say it's a nice breezy start. It's probably, you know, the only one you definitely want to be at home first game of the season. You'd probably rather not have to play. I know we've had to play Manchester City at home the last couple of opening days, which have always worked out well for us. But I think on paper, mate, I think this would be a nice one to start us off with. I think everyone would be okay with it. In the corresponding fixture this season that's just finished, how did we do against Southampton at home? We beat them, didn't we?
Jesus, lad.
My mind's not working. I'm going to get it up now. Hang on 1 second.
But look, for me, I think, starting off at home, tasty. I think the fans, they'll be up for that. They'll be absolutely buzzing. I'm sure it'll be an absolute unbelievable atmosphere as well. So that is a tasty fixture to start off with at home. Look, of course, we took Fraser Forster off them. They are after signing Bazunu. But look, it's one I would definitely expect to win. But look, Sean, we will move into the next one. Chelsea then on the 13th of August, 7 days later, away. What do you feel about getting Chelsea away, second game into the season?
Oh, well, listen, I think it's also probably a good one for us, because I think that Chelsea have just come out of their embargo, right? And the transfer window won't be closed by then. So I'd imagine that Chelsea are still getting their stuff together. Like, they haven't made any moves in the transfer market yet. So I'd imagine that when Chelsea get them, that's probably going to happen a little bit later. I know I'm kind of getting a little bit too reading between the lines here, but I'd say if we catch them early when they may be asleep, we've got hopefully our full strength team and our team assembled, bedded in, and comfortable under the Conte system. And Chelsea may be late to the party with some of their moves, so we could get them out of the way before they go and spend their money. I'd imagine you'll see Chelsea do a lot of business late in the window, whereas we're doing it early. So just on that basis alone, you have to play them at some point. And I feel like it's probably not a bad one as well, to be honest.
Look, I would rather play them then than play them when they have a head of steam, like we kind of did in January last season when we had the trilogy. For me, I'd rather get it out second game of the season. And look, I wouldn't write us off now as well, because look, when we played Chelsea as well, we have to remember we had a lot of injury problems at the time, Sean. A lot of players out, this, that, and the other. Whereas this one, you would expect to have more or less a fully fit squad going into it. So look, I actually don't mind that being second game of the season. Sean, Molan Joe wants to know what's the best price for us to win the league.
I'll get that up in a second, Molan Joe. I'll come back to you on that one. Star that comment for me, mate, and I'll come back to it.
No, I will. Molan Joe will get back to you on that one, my man. But look, that Chelsea game kicks off the first of 12 London derbies next season. As you can see, Sean, then we roll on to Wolverhampton Wanderers at home, Nottingham Forest away, and West Ham away, which is a 7:45 kickoff. That'll be
spicy.
A very, very good atmosphere around West Ham, I would say. But Sean, that completes the month of August. I mean, what's your thoughts on the whole on them three fixtures then to complete off the month?
Listen, I think it's good. I think West Ham, the West Ham one again, that's going to be a spicy one. Look, at that stage in the season, and I think as we're going to go down, we've already spoken about this just before the stream started, but as we go down, you'll see the shape of our toughest games and playing them away from home. And I think we're fortuitous in a way that we're getting a lot of them early, because at that part in the season, injuries are usually far fewer and far between than they are later in the season. So Tottenham will hopefully have a fully rested squad that's not exhausted or tired. Hopefully there'll be no injuries. And as we go through it, you'll see that a lot of the big teams are playing away from home early in the season, which I think is fantastic. As a starting month of August, I'm relatively. Tottenham always usually don't get a fair crack, but on this one, I think it's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, look, I actually do think it's reasonable. Look, for me, I think you should be beaten. Look, I want Wolves. Sean, just quickly, actually, I remember we lost to Southampton at home. So we did. We lost to Southampton at home, but I expect to beat them first game of the season. Chelsea away is going to be tough, but as we already explained, building up. Hopefully, we can build up. We're playing Chelsea when they're not building up ahead of steam. Hopefully, have a full squad. Wolves at home again. I was there for the last one last season. We lost. Hopefully, we can turn that around. Nottingham Forest away. I think that should be a 3 points. And for me, actually, just quickly on this, I'm actually delighted that we are only playing one of the promoted teams in August, because when the promoted teams come up, they're still buyout for the first month or two. There's usually they put in a good shift and then they start to tail off. They can't compete with the intensity of it usually. So I'm actually glad we have them a couple of games into the season. And then that West Ham fixture, a night fixture, Sean.
Spicy.
I mean, you see the atmosphere surrounding North London Derby at a night fixture.
Yeah.
There could be something similar at the West Ham Stadium for that one.
Yeah, well, the atmosphere at West Ham is never great because of the stadium's 2 miles away from the pitch. You have to bring your binoculars. But
you have to get star pack, get the safari hat, the binoculars, Sean. Bring your flash, bit of tea, maybe some soup. Who knows?
It's bird watching. You're going bird watching.
What they used to on? They used to on Stringfellows, didn't they? So
Yeah, listen, I just feel like it's going to be a good atmosphere outside the stadium. It's still going to be light there at that time of the year, so people will be out boozing after work, getting a little bit spicy and then going down to the game. It will definitely be a rip snorter of a fixture. Just to answer Mullen Joe's question, I've got the early prices here on Betfair on who they fancy for the Premier League winner. Manchester City are favourites to win the league at 4-6, which means you put £6 on. If it wins, you get £4 back plus your £6. So odds-on favourites. Liverpool are second favourites at 3-1. Tottenham, third favourites. We move above Chelsea.
That's
14-1 to win the league. The best price you could probably get right now is 15-1, but that's not. I mean, I don't know. That's quite. I still think that's quite short odds, to be honest. But 15-1. Chelsea then are 20-1. After that, Manchester United 45-1. Arsenal, they predict they're going to come sixth at 80-1 to win the league. They got Newcastle to come seventh at 130-1, and then Aston Villa at 500-1, and gets worse from there. So they predict the top 10 next season of Man City, Liverpool, Tottenham third, Chelsea fourth, United fifth, Arsenal sixth, Newcastle seventh, Villa eighth, West Ham ninth, Everton 10th. And the three teams that they've got to go down, well, actually, they've got 5 or 6 teams that are all up. They've got Brentford, Forest, Brighton, Wolves, Palace, Southampton, Fulham, and Bournemouth, all within a hair's breadth of going down. So it's going to be quite interesting at the top and the bottom next season.
Jeez,
This season. It's not next season anymore. It's this season.
It's only around the corner, lad. It's from today. Our first pre-season fixture is literally a month away. Today is the 16th. Our first pre-season fixture is the 16th. I'm absolutely buzzing. It's only a month away. I mean, as soon as Premier League fixtures come out, I get excited, Sean. I can't wait for the new season to come round. I've already ordered my flares for sitting at home at the watch along. You know, I cannot wait, Johnny. Yeah. Cannot wait. But just listening to the odds there, Sean, I'd nearly wait until the season starts, you know, before I put money on Spurs at that price. Because
it's early. There's lots more transfer business to be done. These are just prices you can get right now. There's not a lot of money that's traded on it early. It's only £200,000 that's been traded on Betfair, so not a huge amount of money. But yeah, you'd imagine that depending on what the various teams do in the summer window, that those prices will change.
But there you have it, guys. In August, 2 London derbies, both away as well, Chelsea and West Ham. But look, we'll move into September. Now, it is worth noting that our UEFA Champions League group stage campaign will begin on either Tuesday or Wednesday, the 6th or 7th of September. And that's with match day 1 in the group stage. The draw for the group stage in the Champions League. And it's a shame you don't look. Well, it's not a shame. It's brilliant that Arsenal fans don't have to worry about this, but we do. Throws a bit of a spanner in the works. Do you know why? Because we watch it Tottenham on a Wednesday night.
You play Thursday because you're fucking shite.
Oh, what a feeling, what a night. And the draw for the group stage is on the 25th of August as well. So that will be where are we? So that will be 2 days before the Nottingham Forest game. So that'd be interesting to see what we draw there. But heading into September, Shawnee, we kick off the month at home to Fulham. Yet another London derby off the back of the West Ham game.
Yeah.
It's an easy win there, surely.
Yeah. Fulham's not a problem, I wouldn't imagine.
Look, that's 2 of the newly promoted sides out the way inside the start of September. Then we move on to Man City away. But you know what, Sean? I'm not worried about this because it's an unwritten rule. They're just not allowed to beat us, my man. They're a bogey team. You know, but if you look at it, that's Chelsea.
Well, we're their bogey team. We're their bogey team. Yeah.
Chelsea, West Ham, and City all inside the first, 5, 6, 7 games. I mean,
it's a quick start. It's a big start.
It's a huge start. And then we round off September with a home tie against Leicester. Just looking at that, Sean, you got Leicester, City, West Ham, Wolves, Chelsea, all finished in the top half of the season, the Premier League last season. Yeah, you know, all before September ends. It is actually a pretty tough opening.
I'm not worried about. I think Wolves are going to really struggle this season. I was listening on Talk Sport the other day, a couple of days ago, and they had a few. No, it was on Talk Sport last night actually, and they had a few Wolves fans coming on talking about their chances, and they're really worried. They think that Wolves. This is coming from their own fan base, that they might actually go down. They're worried about the amount of young Portuguese players that are coming in. They're just being bombarded with youngsters that just aren't ready, aren't used to the pace of the league, and they're going to struggle. And I'll also say, I think Leicester. I put this out there on Twitter to Bob Spur the other day. I actually don't think that Leicester are going to be as good as they have been. I think that you'll see Leicester start to slide back towards mediocrity. A lot of their good players are getting old. They haven't replaced them. They can't continue to go and find these absolute gems. Like I take my hat off to their scouting network, but it's impossible. Surely they can't continue to find £10 million price gems that go on to become 60, 70 million pound players. So I think Leicester will be, half the team that they have been, and will find them not too much trouble, especially at home.
I'm surprised you said that about Wolves, though, Sean. I know you said that's coming from their own fan base, but they had a very good season last season, so I'm very surprised to hear what they think. And to be honest with you, in terms of Leicester, look, I agree with you. I do think that the only thing I will say is I do think they threw some of the Premier League games and kind of went all out for the Europa Conference League that time. But look, it'd be interesting. Because Brendan Rodgers gets off to a bad start, he will be sacked. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens there. But Sean, we kick off October, and it is the first day of October, heading into a North London derby away at the Emirates. Now, before I get into my real thoughts on being away at the Emirates, I just want to say, Arsenal get battered everywhere
they go. Arsenal get battered everywhere they go. Everywhere they go. 2, 3, 4.
Or you can get out your Ben White song, Sean. Take your pick, take your pick, man. But Arsenal away. Look, we have struggled notoriously going away at the Emirates, even when it was Highbury. Notoriously struggled. Mm-hmm. What I will say with this one, I'm genuinely going in there with expectations to win. Now, I know under Nuno, we got absolutely slapped when we went there. But we have Antonio Conte. We have a far superior squad. Yeah. They will be up for this game because they know what we've done to them. We absolutely rattled the cages that much. They bottled top 4 altogether. Mm-hmm. And look, they will definitely be up for this derby. But do you know what, Sean? I'm actually not afraid going into this one. We've got Conte. You look at some of the signings we've made. Basuma, which should be announced today. Yep. Perisic, and hopefully there's more to follow. Are you actually worried going away to the Emirates and to kick off October for this one?
Look, it's always look. As much as I'm going to feel more confident going into this one for all the reasons you just said than I have done in the last 5-10 years. I don't remember ever, going into that game feeling like Tottenham were ever going to smash them. Maybe when we used to have Harry Redknapp, I used to be a little bit more confident because anything could happen. But ever since then, even under Poch, never really felt that confident. This time, I'm still going to be nervous. It's just it's a tough place to go, And but look, I think that Tottenham have turned a corner with our performances against like Manchester City last season, undefeated. 6 points out of 6. Undefeated against Liverpool. There's no reason why we should be looking at Arsenal and feeling like that we should be afraid in any way, shape or form. And quite the opposite. I think Arsenal will look at us now. Arsenal fans will look at our team. And as much as they hate to admit it, we're going places and they'll be terrified of getting battered on their own turf. And on this one, I'll definitely be putting a bet on Tottenham to smash them on October the 1st. It's going to be a fun afternoon.
I agree. I know they usually say form goes out the window when it comes to North London Derby, but I actually think this is the one where we will actually turn up and beat them at the Emirates. I think we'll actually turn them over easy enough, if I'm being honest, and providing everyone stays fit, of course. Then, Sean, we move on to Brighton away. Look, Brighton is notoriously kind of been a tough fixture for us. I know we bet them in the FA Cup last season, and we actually bet them at the Amex, which I was there for. Yeah. But we seen what they done to us, in the running for the Champions League spot last season. But we have their best player now in Basuma, so I'm absolutely buzzing with that, Shawnee. But are you worried about this Brighton game? Potential banana skin there?
I think it depends on where. It's definitely a potential. Not, I wouldn't say dropping all 3 points, but there's always a chance against Brighton if Graham Potter's still there at the time. I think that there could be an early sacking this season. I've got a lot of ideas in my mind that there's a few managers that might end up going very early on. If someone starts really badly, if Thomas Tuchel starts really badly, he could be out the door. I think old Eric Ten Hag, if they don't start well, the way that he's treated the media since he's been at United, I think he hasn't got a clue what's coming his way. Like I would worry. I'm not suggesting for a second that it's going to happen, but if there is an early sacking from a big team, you're going to see Graham Potter potentially disappear and get taken away and go and fill a bigger seat somewhere. And so if it happens before October the 8th and Graham Potter's no longer in charge, then I don't think Brighton are the same outfit. I know you don't like Graham Potter, Dave, but no, for me, I do think he's a very good reason why Brighton are as solid as they have been. And also, I think it depends on what they do with the money. If they go and buy, get someone who's decent in to replace Bissouma. I've heard that they might be looking at going and getting Emmanuel Dennis as well this morning. So if they get Emmanuel Dennis and put him up alongside Ivan Toney, then Brighton could be a different kind of outfit, a different threat as well. So I don't think there's too much to worry about, but there'll be some variables that will come into play on that one. And it is potentially a banana skin. Yeah.
100%, my man. Look, before we finish off October, Fabrizio Romano's latest update on Yves Bissouma. Well, I think that's how you say his first name. That's how I'm going to keep going.
Yves Bissouma.
V's.
Yves. Like E-V-E-S. Yeah, Yves.
Oh, Yves Bissouma is currently undergoing medical tests with Tottenham staff in London. As expected, all proceeding in the best way. Bissouma's agent is also in London to complete the final details on the contract. And basically, with that, I wouldn't actually worry about, the agent coming in for the final details, basically. And interested, actually, I'm going to do a pass the pod for the Peter Crouch podcast. I'll have to clip it and send it to him because he likes people passing the pod out, Peter Crouch. But he was saying yesterday that, interestingly enough, he actually done a contracts podcast, Sean. And he was saying, look, the deal is more or less agreed by the time you get to the club. And then the agent just goes in and finalizes everything. So I wouldn't actually be worried about that. It's more so the agent coming so that he can just sign the contracts with Yves Bissouma and stuff like that. Yeah. But I would not worry about that whatsoever. Coover's in the house. Big up, David and Shawnee. Nice to see you both mulling over the fixture list, a.k.a. our roadmap to the Premier League title this season. The quad is on at 2,000 to 1 odds.
Wow.
We're going to have, do you know what? This season, we're going to have to do like bets every Friday night. Myself, Shawnee, and Kuva and Moondog will have to sit here and come up with a few bets for people before the weekend. Kuva, if you do want to come on, let me know, and I'll get Shawnee to pass you on the link there while I run this. If you do want to come on, just put in the chat and let us know, my man. There you have it, guys. The latest on Yves Bissouma is, we are expecting it to be more or less signed, sealed, and delivered today. Fabrizio Romano also reported last night that it's roughly around a fee of 29 million euros. So very interesting, but we'll keep you up on Yves Bissouma as the show goes on. But we'll get back into the fixture list. After Brighton, then we play Everton at home, which I'm actually not really too worried about. But Sean, then we go to Manchester United away under Eric Ten Hag, having a full rebuild. Yeah. Do you think they'll definitely be up and running by October? Do you think there'll still be teething problems and we could nick something here?
I was listening to Gary Neville this morning. By the way, Dave, just quickly check the private chat just to see if you're you see my message. But yeah, in terms of Manchester United away. Listen, I think they're Manchester United. I personally think that they're so underwater. They're not doing any business yet. They're doing what Tottenham always do, right? In the past, they're doing. We're considering, we're looking at, we're monitoring, we're trying to do this, we're trying to do that, and end up with no one. If I think the Christian Eriksen decision for Man United will shape a lot of what happens to him this season. If he chooses United, I think it could be a lot of pressure on Tottenham to go and find someone to fill that hole. Because I want to talk about, it's not necessarily about the big teams this season. We've smashed a lot of the big teams, or we did okay against the big teams last season, but we dropped 25 points to low block, bottom half of the table team. So we need to find a way to solve for that. And I think Christian Eriksen, where he goes, is going to either determine a lot of success for Tottenham or for Man United. If Man United don't get Eriksen, I think Man United could be under a lot of pressure. But what I do want to say, I'm not worried about going to Old Trafford. Of course, it's like Arsenal. It's also a banana skin. But I just want to take this moment, mate. It's the 19th of October. 19th of October. And by that point, we will have already played everybody that we would consider a rival, apart from Liverpool, away from home. We'll have played Manchester City, Manchester United, Chelsea, Arsenal, and West Ham away,
Fucking hell, yeah.
all out of the way by the middle of October. If we can get through October, from August to October, if we can get through that and be in decent shape, like third or fourth in the table, we got the easiest, nicest running. Presuming that we can get past the low block teams, but the toughest fixtures away from home are all done, apart from Liverpool, by the 19th of October. It's quite a big task ahead of us in the early stages of the season.
No, geez, it definitely is. But like you said, you get them games out on a run, you should have more or less a clear run until Christmas, where hopefully you can just accumulate points after points after points. But bearing in mind, in October, we will have 3 Champions League group games thrown in amongst this month. So it's definitely not going to be the easiest by any means, because you'll have the 3 group stage games thrown in amongst these fixtures in October. I'll just tell you when the fixtures are for them. So you're talking about the 4th and 5th of October, which is between Arsenal and Brighton. Then you're also talking about the 11th and the 12th of October, which is then stuck between Brighton and Everton. So you're talking about a pretty full-on month there already. And then the 25th and 26th, which isn't too bad. You kind of get not much of a break.
No, you don't. You play Newcastle on the Saturday, then you go wherever we're going, home or away in the league, and then you've got Bournemouth. It's not
what
too
I
bad.
will say is it's good to have no Champions League game between that United and Newcastle game. It means we can focus on that Man United game. But Sean, you make a great point about getting a lot of them teams out the way and away as well, which is also important, because it'll help us come the back end of the campaign, having a lot of these teams at home that you expect to be up in and around the top half of the table.
Yeah,
Newcastle at home, look, it could be an entirely different proposition. And then we round off the month with the second of our newly promoted teams away to Bournemouth, which I'm not really too worried about either. And then we head into my birthday month, November. What a great month that is. And then the day after my birthday, Saturday the 5th of November, we are at home to Liverpool. And this one I so badly want to win, especially with it being the day after my birthday. Don't want any of my Liverpool fans getting on to me. But, Sean, it's the first of you'd say, the big 6 teams that we actually have at home. Do you expect us to turn up for this one? Or do you think it'll be a tough ask?
Look, I think there's never been a better time. I think we're going to go into the season. I don't see Liverpool. I know Liverpool have spent a lot of money on Darwin Núñez, but they've got a few players that are, that are over 30 now, that are either going to be out the door anyway. And I don't know how much more business Liverpool are going to do. So I think Liverpool are basically staying still, even though Núñez is an unknown entity, right? We don't know what he's going to be like in the Premier League. So I don't think Liverpool are going to be that much better this season, but Tottenham certainly are. And we had the better of them at home last season. And you could say we had the better of them away from home, even though we didn't come away with the points on either occasion. I'm not fearing anybody. The only thing I am worried about, October and September is a massive. There's so many fixtures they're squeezing in before the World Cup, and playing Liverpool. I'd rather. Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's going to be a tough game, of course, mate. But when does it break for the World Cup?
I'll tell you now. Let me see. September, October. We'll have a look at the fixtures, actually, to tell us. So after the Leeds United game, so to complete November, and then you go into a break for the World Cup, we have Leeds United, and then we do have a Champions League group game thrown in there. When is that one? That Champions League group game will be between the 1st and the 6th, so I'll actually be done with before then. So
we got to play. So we got to play Liverpool after the final Champions League game.
Or the 1st or the 2nd, yes. So we will have to play Champions League before we actually play that Liverpool game, which probably does throw a bit. But so will they. So will they. So but then Leeds United at home to round off November, and then heading into the World Cup. We should be rounding that off with 3 points heading into the World Cup, Sean, with a bit of a feel-good factor.
Hope so, mate. Yeah, should be a good one.
Well,
Leeds at home is usually fairly easy, isn't it? Because I know they're a different outfit under Mersch than they were under Bielsa, but yeah, I don't see any problems there.
Under Ted Lasso, you mean, lad? Under Ted Lasso, that's what they call him. But look, Kuva says, actually, Dave, I've done really well with the bets last season. If only I had the guts to bet larger amounts, I'd have made a fortune. Can't grumble with £422.40 down to the cents. You gotta love that position, John. From a £20 outlay, though. Well, Kuva, I need you to start sending me on some tips, my man. I really do, because I'm having real problems with accumulators and little bets here and there, my man. They're not coming in for me.
That was his son bet, wasn't it? That was he bet on Sonny at Christmas to be the top scorer.
Well,
lovely.
The man can see the future, lad. Yeah, lad, he can see the future. So we need Kuva on here to help me with a few bets. Anyone that wants bets, go to Sean and Kuva. They'll make you money this season, everybody. But everyone keeps over 132 in house for an impromptu stream this morning. Everyone keep smashing that like button, keep smashing that subscribe button, and keep getting your thoughts in the chat. But then we move into December, Sean. It's, of course, the season kicking back off on Boxing Day. Stephen's Day over here, the 26th of December, the day after Christmas. We're away to Brentford, Sean. Bit
Tough
of a
place to
banana
go.
skin that off the back of the World Cup and Christmas.
Tough place to go. Day after Christmas. Everyone's a little bit festively plump. And on top of that, you never know what the hangover is going to be from the World Cup. A lot of players are going to be tired coming back. Probably, I don't know when the World Cup final would be. Depends on who gets to the final. Obviously, if Tottenham players are affected by that, or if England, for example, get knocked out at an earlier stage, then maybe it's not so much of a problem. But there's definitely a banana skin. That's one of the fixtures that you're going to look at and think, don't know how that's going to go right now. Not sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a tricky one for sure. I wouldn't be confident, just off the back of everyone off the World Cup, off the back of Christmas. It's one of them, you could just be feeling your way back into it. But look, we've got Bob Spur in the background in his dressing gown. I hope he has underpants on underneath that. But look, let's get him on.
You know me better than that, Dave. Of course I haven't.
It's a bit early for Stevie Fraser to be hearing that, lad. Bit early for Stevie Fraser to be hearing that. But Bob, so far we're up as far as December. I mean, what's your thoughts on the start of the season, the fixtures and stuff like that?
Yeah, good, man. I mean, there's a lot of talk about our first few away games. Chelsea, I think Liverpool, Arsenal, etc. In the first 5 or 6 games, Brighton away, etc. But yeah, I mean, bring it on. I wanted Chelsea or Arsenal away first game of the season, get it out of the way. But I think I mentioned it in the comments how fitting that the first 3 games are the 3 games that we probably had our worst performances in last season. Yeah. Southampton at home, Chelsea away, and Wolves at home. Certainly the Wolves at home one was disappointing. So, yeah, man, if we want to put things right, let's start off with a positive 9 points. I think the one that really sticks out is Palace at home to Arsenal on a Friday. Very Brentford-y kind of feelings there. So they're on the back foot right from the off, we hope. But no, all positive vibes, man. Positive vibes.
Wait, sorry. Who have Arsenal got on the Friday?
On the first Friday, it's Palace v Arsenal.
Ooh, that'd be a nice one. Nice London derby to get things kicked off. Yeah,
that is tasty. That is tasty. But you make a good point, Bob. The first 3 games are probably 3 of our worst performances last season. Yeah. Sean, you were talking about points dropped. So how many points do you think we can reclaim from them 3 fixtures then?
Well, I think. We dropped. So we lost at Southampton. We lost at Wolves. We lost at Chelsea. So we dropped 9 points. I think this time round we should be able to get 7 points or 6 points, but hopefully 7 points out of it. I don't. Chelsea away. As much as I'm confident for the reasons I said earlier, Chelsea won't have done their rebuilding. I don't think by then. They'll be doing it late in the business, and who knows what sort of what mood that whole club's going to be in under the new ownership. Don't know, but let's just call a spade a spade. We never get anything away at Chelsea, so hopefully this time it's different, but it probably won't be. And on that basis, I think we'll smash Southampton and we'll do a better job against Wolves. So I'd say 6 points 6 points out of 9 would be expected. 7 points would be very good. 9 points would be, out of this world.
That'd be nice. Then we only have about 15 points to make up on Liverpool and City, and we're in a title race. Absolutely. But what I will say is it could definitely let us start with how we mean to go on, because I'm sure the players will be hurting with what happened against Southampton Wolves, and hopefully they do want revenge. We've got Mary W in the house. Big up Mary W. She says Chelsea would be a benchmark. Absolutely, probably will. Big boss man, he just wants me to go, woo! Big up, my man. Honestly, there was no what I would say deep voice in that, my man. It's not working for me lately.
It caught a high C, mate. I think that one.
Yeah, honestly, I sound like a choir girl, so I do. I sound like a choir girl. Faz Radfar says, big up Bob Spur. The high tones, that's definitely what I done with the woo. Irish Hotspur, Spurs talk, and Bob Spur. Basuma is a definite now. Lovely jubbly. He's undergoing his medical at Tottenham way, which is absolutely interesting. So we should get special announcement today, which probably means I'll be going live for a second time today. And Moondog says my dire bets will be going on. I really do hope they come in for you. I really do. The thing is, you're that far invested in it now, Moondog. You can't really pull out of it, because the minute you do, you can guarantee Eric Dyer will probably score an overhead from outside the box. You know what I mean? So you can't really pull out of it. You're that far into it, Moondog. But hopefully, I do want it to come in for you this season, and nice and early as well, so you're not wasting. I wouldn't say wasting your money, but so it comes in. And then Coover says you sounded like an unlucky dog jumping over a barbed wire fence. Dave, you know what it is? Yeah, I got a new puppy, Coover. So I'm just trying to sound like the new puppy. That's all it is, lad. So that he can like me now instead of his puppy. I'm getting jealous, my man.
What's the name of the puppy, Dave?
Rolo. Don't know why. Had no saying it whatsoever anyway.
Rolo. Is that the name? You got a new puppy called Rolo?
No, my dad got a new puppy.
Your dad did? Wow, that's a good name. I like that name. It's a nice name.
I can't have puppies where I live in my apartment because I'm renting, so can't have one, which is unfortunate. But look,
I thought you loved doggy. But,
oh
yeah.
This does. But look, boys, we end off December the 31st, New Year's Eve. We are at home to Aston Villa. Could be a difficult fixture, especially since Steven Gerrard. Look, I know we slapped them. What was it, 4-1 at home? I believe. I think, if my memory serves me correct, 4-1, 4-0. And I know we slapped them.
2-0 at home, 4-0 away, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's sorry, away. The game where Steven Gerrard set them up to kick 7 shades of shit out of us in the first half.
Almost ruined our chances with if it wasn't for Emerson raising his game when Doherty went down and broke his knee.
Yeah.
And I would expect them to use the same tactics. So, boys, I mean, it's not an easy fixture list to come back off the World Cup with, really, if you think about it. Look, it could be a lot worse. We could have United, Liverpool, City, or Chelsea in there. But as far as some of the teams go in the Premier League, I mean, it's a bit of a dodgy return from the World Cup, don't you think, Bob?
Yeah, I mean, basically how the World Cup goes, mate, and see who's going to have. I think England are going to win the World Cup. So we'll be going right to the wire, and the likes of Kane and Dyer, who I think will make the World Cup squad. They're going to be on. They will be running on adrenaline, hopefully. But mate, no, I know. See, it's the same that everyone said. No easy fixtures, but if we've got hopes this season, Villa at home shouldn't cause any sort of issue, regardless of when we play them.
True.
So Villa can bring it on. They're quietly doing their business. I do think I've predicted Villa to finish in Europe, Europa League, or even the push for Champions League this season, because I do think they'll be up and around there. But
you can get 22-1 right now on Aston Villa finishing top 4.
Top 4, yeah. So there were 33. There was prior to the signings, there were 33 to finish in the top 6.
Wow, really?
Yeah, so
You did.
I think they've massively shortened now. I wouldn't be surprised if they do qualify for Europe, or certainly fight for Europe this season. But Villa at home, no matter what season and no matter who they buy, should not be an issue for us at home. We want to make it a fortress this season, don't we, guys? We want to make our home ground a fortress where We want it to be an Arsenal at home game every single game.
Big time. But you know what, guys? I just fear. Look, they're away from November to more or less, late enough December. I think the World Cup finals like a week before Christmas. And then you do have Christmas. They're back with their families, but they're more or less straight into Premier League football. And I just fear that we might not exactly be at the races against Brentford and Aston Villa. That is just my biggest fear, that we come back off it sloppy, lethargic. It's a tough one. It's a tough one for me. I think them two. Look, we should be winning them. I agree, Bob. If we have aspirations, etc., we should be winning them. But just off the back of the World Cup and it being around Christmas time, I'm just not confident. Yeah. But Sean, we opened January. In fact, the whole of January. Just name it. Just name
London.
It the month of London. All London derbies, my man. Starting off with Palace at home, Arsenal away, and then Fulham at home. You happy with that month? It's going to be a tasty one.
Yeah, well, look, listen, if you are tired a little bit jaded from the World Cup, then maybe not having to do too much additional travelling around the country also plays into it a little bit. So we didn't do too well last season in London, did we? We lost pretty much all of our, opening 6 games, or whether it was 4 or 5 games in London. So yeah, London was a tricky place to play for us away from home. But this time around, I think it's not a bad. Yeah, get them done all in the same period. It's nice. Yeah.
I think at one stage in the season, we had 4 losses, and all 4 of them were in London. We actually did have problems with London derbies last season.
Palace
a lot
away.
of our losses did come in them.
Palace away, Arsenal away. Yeah. What did we lost? Arsenal away 3-0, Palace away at 3-0. We drew at Brentford. West Ham.
We bet them at home.
And Chelsea. Yeah. Yeah, we struggled. We really struggled, didn't we?
No, we really did struggle in London derbies last season. But look, do you expect, surely that'll be rectified by January? I mean, you look at Palace away, don't get me wrong, as if Vieira stays there, they're always going to be a threat with some of the players they have in that team. You're talking Eze, Saha, Olise, who I really like the look of. Yep. Hopefully the only plus is that Conor Gallagher won't be there. But then, Sean, Arsenal at home, the 14th Saturday. It's a 3 p.m. kickoff. I'd say you'll be well oiled by that time for that game.
Well, you know what though? The problem is I might have to switch my month, because generally what I do in life, ever since I was in the finance game, everyone takes January off of drinking, give your liver a chance to recover for the month. But I might have, so I do a dry January generally. But given that Arsenal is in the month of Jan, I might have to pick February or March or something to
I think you will have to move it to February. You can't go dry with London derbies in January. You just can't.
No,
it's not an option.
It's a tough one though. Like, Palace, listen, if we struggle against Palace, then like you said, Palace is a tough game away from home. At home, Palace is not a problem, but away at is it the Dell? I forget. No, not the Dell. Selhurst Park. Sorry. It's a tough fixture, and if we do struggle there, that could end up like derailing the momentum a little bit to go into the Arsenal game. So I think that the Palace game is going to be super important to get a decent result there, so that we can continue in, and then when Arsenal come to town, then we can absolutely smash them. And then Fulham, I don't see any problem with. Fulham's never been a problem for Tottenham, so. Yeah,
I don't think it will be a problem either. John Fitzpatrick, I don't look, give me about 4 hours and I'll have a brilliant nickname for you for Bazuma, my man.
Bazooka.
One that he can cane me with all season long. That's why John wants the nickname. That's why he wants it. But Bob, what's your thoughts on January there? Look, again, potentially a tricky month, but we should be winning all 3 of them games, in my opinion.
100%. London derbies, January, the momentum will be with us. And like I say, but out of all of them, we've got to look at Palace. But are they likely to have the same season that they've had this season? Hope, these Palace fans will be hoping that they continue their good run and Vieira shows what he's made of. But again, man, I know I sound like a broken record. Palace away, Gooners at home, and Fulham away should not be anything that we should be afraid of or worried about. Palace is the one where we're going to have to dig in, because they are a hard team. They're a very physical team. But Gooners at home. We all know that's going to get changed. We're not going to be playing on on the 14th. I'm sure we won't. And Fulham away, no issues there, no issues.
No, I agree. And look, with the Palace game, I think we played them slightly earlier last season, but we did play them in around that festive period. So for me, and that was we bet them with relative ease. So judging by that, I think Palace we should be beaten. To be honest with you. And then look, all I'm going to say is it's going to be a late Christmas present for everybody.
Palace away last season was the day after Nuno won Premier League Manager of the Month, and we would come with 3 wins, 3 clean sheets. So how times have changed.
Big time. But look, we've got contact at hand now. We won't lose them games anymore. But guys, we then move into February, and of course, if we get out the group stage, the Champions League games will be back on in and around then, the knockout stages. But we start off February with a home game against Man City. Am I worried? No. We're gonna wax Pep's head again once more. They're not allowed to beat us. Leicester City away, dodgy, but we should be winning in my opinion. And then West Ham at home and Chelsea at home. Guys, this for me is the biggest month, February. And we'll start with you, Shawnee. I mean, Man City, Leicester away, West Ham, Chelsea. That is a huge month for Tottenham Hotspur. Do you think?
Yeah, and if we're still in the Champions.
Sorry, just quickly. Do you think potentially that this month could also decide what we go on to do come the back end of the season?
Yeah, February is always the and if we're still in Europe as well, if we're still in the Champions League, or even if we drop down into the Europa League as well, you're going to have an extra, I think, either 2 fixtures or 4 fixtures, depending on whether they do the quarterfinals and the round of 16 in February. I think you get the round of 16 in February, and then I think you maybe the first leg of the quarterfinals is towards the end of February. So there'll be hopefully an extra 3 games in there, probably against tough opposition. So massive monster month. You have to also remember, though, a lot of these fixtures are going to be rescheduled to later on by that point. So obviously we're just taking a snapshot at it now, but it's very rare that the fixtures that you see in February at the start of the season are the ones that you play, come February. But yeah, if it's as it looks and we're in Europa League or the Champions League, it's massive, absolutely huge. And that's why you need a big squad. That's why you're going to have to be able to have the get lucky with injuries, and also have figured out by then, who is the midfield pairing that you want. Is it going to be Basuma and Højbjerg? Is it going to be Bentancur and Skippy, or is it going to be a combination? Obviously, the five sub thing is going to be able to help us. That's why we need the big squad that we do. But yeah, there's no easy games in that group at all. Even Leicester, I don't think Leicester are going to be very good this season. But Leicester away is always a tough place to play, even when they were poor back in the day. So tough one, tough month.
100%. And Bob, do you think this will kind of tell us after this month we'll know whether we're in a title challenge, whether we're going to qualify for Champions League, or whether we'll have to settle for Europa League?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to look at it as the opposition. Man, 3 points. City, done. Yeah, 3 points there. Leicester, depends which Leicester turns up this season. Wayne Holland, who's a big supporter of all the channels, is saying Brendan Rodgers is in under serious pressure for him to bring out a better Leicester. Who knows which ones? There's no way in the world West Ham are having another season like they had this gone. They're going to be usual 8th, 9th, 10th. And Chelsea, I know you've spoken about the first 3 games. I think we'll go there and get the 3 points. I think they're a bit turbulent. I think Tuchel's got away with it last season. I think probably the most underachieving club last season from who they brought in, what the expectations were. I think 50-60% of the pundits predicted Chelsea to win. So to finish third, losing finals and being way off the top, I thought they underachieved massively. And I think Tuchel, if he did have that pressure. Champions League, got away with it. I think they've got a turbulent year ahead of them, man. The only recognised defenders they've got is Silva and another youngster. They're the only 2 recognised.
Christensen's gone. Azpilicueta's gone.
Exactly.
Rudiger's gone. They can't seem to get Koundé over the line. No. He's
injured now as well. So I think it's turbulent. Yeah, I don't on paper, man. Absolutely, but I don't think. I honestly don't think it'll be an issue. If I look at it from the opposition and try and put my logical hat on rather than my heart hat on, I think we'll be fine. And I do think first 3 games we'll get 9 points. I think we'll go Chelsea. And like Shawnee just touched on it, we'll have a settled team by then. We'll have a settled team, and I think we'll be in a position that if we play a Bentancur and a Basuma, or a Højbjerg and a Bentancur, or a Skip and a Basuma, how nice is that conversation compared to who do we play Winks with? Who do we play Dembele with? Who do we play Celso with? I think we'd have I'm not saying we'd have a definitive first 11, because I do think we'll make changes throughout the season, but we'll be at a stage, whoever comes in will not weaken us. I do believe that. So, no issues.
100%.
Just got to take a phone call, guys. All right, won't be
sorry. No worries. 100%. I agree with what Bob Spur was saying there in terms of us having a settled squad, especially if we can get a lot of these signings in before preseason. But Sean, with Chelsea, like, I suppose we didn't really mention that, but they are set to lose a lot of players this summer. Rudiger is a huge one gone. You know, he was carrying a threat coming out of the fence. You know, Thiago Silva's another year older. Azpilicueta's gone, or it could be gone. Marcos Alonso's another one that could be on his way out. You know, they're losing a Christensen, Andres Christensen. They're losing a lot this summer. You know, you think we could actually benefit? I think we have done second game of the season, and then again here in February. Do you think we could actually benefit? And this season we could actually get the double off Chelsea.
You're getting me excited, mate. You're twisting my arm a little bit on this one. Listen, like I said at the start, I do think that Chelsea, because they've just come out of embargo, right? Obviously, you'd hope if you were a Chelsea fan that they've got things in the pipeline, but you're not hearing too much about them doing too much business. They can't seem to get the Koundé thing done. So for me, given the fact that they've lost all those players and the fact that they come out of embargo, I think that they will get some decent players in. They'll replace as many as they can with the money that they have, and they do have a lot of money to spend. But I don't necessarily think they'll have it all done by the second game of the season. I think they'll be flying around trying to get things done. So Chelsea away, second game of the season is an absolute perfect time to play them. And of course, Chelsea at home, it's a slightly easier affair. You're right, mate. I do think from you and Bobby have just twisted my arm a little bit. Maybe we can get 9 points from the first 3 and then get the 6-point double over Chelsea on the way to lifting the title. Oh, sorry, the quadruple, Kuba.
Well, you know, under Nuno, we did win our first 3 games last season. We kicked off the first day with Man City, and we kept clean 3 sheets. But it's what happened after that, which was the problem. But hopefully we can start fast. That'll be amazing to get 9 points from the first 3. That'd be absolutely amazing. 100%. Michael says, imagine what a statement it would be if we got 3 points at Stamford Bridge, second game into the season. Be a huge statement. And you know what? I think it'll give the team a lot of confidence to kind of push on from there, you know. I really do. I think if we can break that hoodoo away at the Bridge, I think the players will then start to feel like, hang on, something's starting to happen here. You know, we're a good side. We broke the hoodoo. Let's just kick on. Let's bring on the next game. Definitely, it's definitely could do something there, Michael, my man. But look, we'll move on to the March fixtures then. Of course, we kick off March with an away game at Wolves, which is not going to be easy. Notoriously, it's been a difficult place to Tottenham. We don't exactly hammer them up there, but we can make a result. Then Nottingham Forest at home, I expect to batter. Southampton away again, I expect to win. Sean,
my birthday.
Easy March.
Yeah, Southampton away. I'll be going to that game. I hope it's my birthday. I always try and get to the game on the 18th of March, day after St. Paddy's Day. I think I think that's a fairly decent looking March. And again, obviously, we'll also hopefully have the Champions League quarterfinal, second leg during there some point, and then look forward to the semi-finals on the way to the quad. 2001.
That'd be the dream, my man. That'd be the absolute dream.
Sorry, just quickly. If you go back to February, are they playing the Carabao Cup final? Because we'll be in that tournament as well in February. So is that an extra potential?
It's usually. When was the final this year? Was it February or end of January?
It was Feb, wasn't
it? February, yeah. Because we played Chelsea.
Normally
Chelsea.
Second to last week. Yeah. So it'd be between if we are in the final, or when we are in the final, it'll be the West Ham or Chelsea game that will get rearranged, I reckon. But we'll be fine. We'll have a big enough squad, man, to do with that.
I wouldn't write us off, you know, because like if we can break the hoodoo against Chelsea, we beat them at home or beat them away, first couple of games of the season, break that hoodoo. After that, you've got Liverpool and City. Conte already knows how to get results off them. Yeah. All you've got to do is break that Chelsea hoodoo. We can win it. We can pick up an FA Cup this year. We can definitely pick up a Carabao Cup. It's definitely not beyond the realms of possibility. But, Bob, looking at March's fixtures here, you know, it should be a relatively straightforward, easy month there, really, shouldn't it?
Yeah. I think our games towards the end of the season seem pretty winnable. For me, people who know me know that I've got an affinity with Spurs. Anything Spurs v Forest. It's the 91 Cup final, which was, for me, the second best day I've ever had as a Spurs fan live. The first one was the semi-final against Arsenal. But Forest, Spurs, Forest, I think first game away is third or fourth game.
Yeah,
I think.
Fourth game away, yeah.
Fourth game away. So, can't wait. I'd love to go to that game. My late father was a massive Brian Clough fan. He was a massive Cloughy fan. So Nottingham Forest was his second team. So it's great to see Forest back.
Yeah.
But Southampton, we owe them. Wolves, we owe them as well. And winnable games towards the end of the season. And if we finish anything like we finished this season, certainly in that run of 7 wins in 9 towards the end of the season, we'll be absolutely fine, man. We'll be
100%. And no matter what we're kind of playing for in around then, there's definitely a possibility of putting a run together starting from March and to see out the campaign. But look, we'll move into March, April. We'll move into April. But everybody note that down. Get the eggs ready. 18th of March is Sean's birthday. So get the eggs ready, everybody. Mark that down. But we'll move into April again. Everton away, which we should be winning. Brighton at home. Slipped up there last season. Don't think it'll be the same this season. Hopefully not, with the likes of Perisic and Basuma coming in. Then Bournemouth, Newcastle. Yeah, fuck me, Jesus Christ. How many fucking games are here in April?
That's
fuck
insane.
Me. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in April. And
look at the games as well, Dave. Look at the games as well. We've got Liverpool, Man United.
Newcastle away.
Yeah, Newcastle away.
Liverpool away. It's a tough one.
Do you know what? You look at Everton away. I think we drew 0-0 there. Conte's first game last season.
That's right, mate. Yeah.
Away. Lost Brighton. Bournemouth should be beaten. Newcastle, they're going to be tricky. Away. United, which is an evening kickoff, a Tuesday night, 7:45. Hopefully, United will be tired. And then Liverpool, boys, that's a very tricky month in April. A lot of potential slip-ups.
And the Champions League semi-final.
Yeah.
For both of us. Yeah. Home and away. Wow. That's a tough one. April's tough.
Absolute bore says April looks easy. Hope you're taking
it starts easy, but then about midway through the 22nd of April, it gets progressively harder. We've got Man United at home, Newcastle away, and Liverpool away. Last 3 games of April. That's a tough 3 run.
Yeah.
So have you guys February and April are the 2 hardest months.
Yeah. Have you guys discussed the teams we're playing straight after a Champions League game?
Yeah. We did that in September. The September games. We haven't done it. Yeah. Obviously, we don't know what happens in the second half.
Yeah. So the teams we play after a midweek Champions League game are City away, Leicester City at home, Arsenal away, Everton at home, Bournemouth away, and Liverpool at home. So, not bad. And I just want to point out, I think Arsenal away are due on 1st of, what was it? Where is it? Let's have a look. Arsenal away, currently 1st of October, Saturday, 1st of October. Just want to clarify, we'll be playing them on the Sunday because they'll be playing on a Thursday.
Nice. Oh, what a night.
I love it. But look, we'll bring on Kuva. I wasn't sure whether he was coming or not, but here he is. Let's get him on. It's Kuva99, a.k.a. Dirty Pussy. Not sure what to call him anymore, but how are you, my man?
Yes, it's on mute. Yes.
Yeah. Come on, mate.
Rookie mistake. Brian Daigle had sent me a link, and I thought I'd better have that on mute. Not going into that one.
Where's the flat cap, Cooper? Where's the flat cap, Dan?
It's too hot, mate. It's
Yeah,
boiling my head wearing that thing. It's lovely in the winter. It's cozy, but no, not for the summer, mate.
No, 100%.
Yeah, interesting fixture list, isn't it? Like you said, that April lot, that's quite a heavy workload. Sometimes you start thinking, are they doing this just to try and derail us this season? But I think most teams will pick out a little phase in the season where they're thinking the same thing. So we'll just have to ride that one out. That could be the one that really decides how well we're going to do in the season. That April.
Yeah, April and February. You look.
Yeah, well, I just wish we had the home game against Arsenal late on in the season again, just to take everything tragically away from them again.
We might do if they decide to run away.
Their hopes of getting Conference League football this season, the next season, just dashed at the last, and they got nothing at all. It's funny that they're in the Europa League this season, but it's even more funny when they don't have Europe at all.
Yeah.
They're going to struggle.
If you finish third in the Europa League group, do you get knocked into the Conference League? You do, don't you?
I don't know. It seems so long since we've done things like Europa. It's below us, isn't it?
Yeah. We don't talk about that poxy competition.
I actually do think Arsenal are in for a long season this season. Look, the reason why they're able to challenge on all fronts is they were dumped out the FA Cup early, dumped out the League Cup early enough. And, they had one game a week more or less for the whole season. So I think with Europe coming back in, be interested to see how they do. But I just don't think Mikel Arteta will be able to manage that squad properly, especially with the squad they have at the minute. And haven't done well. Actually, no, they did. They brought in that knockoff Marquinhos, didn't they? So that's the only bit of business they've done. But look, for me, guys, I do think April is a very, very February and April for me. They're two sort of they're 2 hard months, and all off the back of a World Cup as well. It's not going to be an easy ask by any means. But then we do move into the end of the season in May 2023. Seems like a long time away now, but trust me, once it kicks off, it will fly. Palace at home, Aston Villa away, and Brentford at home, and Leeds United away. For me, should be picking up maximum points that month. I think it's definitely a nice one to see out the end of the season, Bob.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, 100%, mate.
As I was saying on Bob's earlier this morning, the only thing you might worry about is if the likes of, say, Brentford and Leeds are involved in a relegation fight at that point. I don't think it will happen, but you never know with teams coming up, having one good season, then going down again. And Leeds obviously still a bit shaky. They're not getting out of that sort of fragile state of mind anytime soon, by the looks of it.
According to Betfair, Kuba, Leeds and Brentford are 4th and 5th favourites to go down. So Bournemouth's outright favourites. Nottingham Forest are predicted to come 19th. Fulham 18th. Leeds just to scrape it away again at 17th. Brentford 16th and Southampton 15th.
I'm surprised Brentford are in there. I'm surprised Brentford are in there at all.
Yeah,
still limited resources, isn't it?
Yeah, mate, and maybe it's the second season syndrome, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, Sheffield United, that's first season when they came up, they were sensational, and then absolute nightmare after that for them.
Yeah. No, 100%. Look, Brentford, I'm surprised, but it could very well what happened with Sheffield United, because Sheffield United had a great season, and then the following season, then it really caught up with them. But Sean, I mean, what's your thoughts on the month of May? I mean, what are we in for by the end of May? What trophies are we lifting?
Well, we've already lifted one. We're in the semi-finals I think by that point we'll be in the final of the FA Cup. We haven't played it yet. We'll be in the final of the Champions League. Haven't played it yet, and I think we'll be in a tasty little battle to see how we finish in the Premier League. I don't see any banana skins there. I take Cooper's point. Brentford could certainly be in and amongst it. Who's on the 28th of May? Who's the fixture at the bottom?
Leeds.
Oh, sorry.
Leeds. And Leeds could be in amongst it. So Cooper makes a really good point.
Leeds away.
Yeah, Leeds away. I still don't think that I still think we'll be too strong for them because we'll have something to play for. There's never a time. There's Tottenham Hotspur. I can't remember the last time Tottenham Hotspur were in May. There was a dead rubber month for us. We're always fighting for something. So, I think we'll get 12 points from 12 in May.
Yeah, Yeah, I definitely think so. I definitely think so as well. So look, everybody, there you have it. There are the Premier League fixtures. Of course, between now and pre-season, we will start getting on, maybe getting everybody's predictions and stuff like that. But look, we'll go through the panel. We'll stick with you, Sean, then we'll go with the order of the way people have come in. But I mean, are you excited now? The season's ahead. You've seen the fixtures; they're released. Are you excited? And what do you expect to see from this season?
Yeah, look, it's going to be. I'm the most excited going into a pre-season or into a season I've ever been. I think Tottenham are going to fight on all fronts. I think we're putting together a squad. I think there's still loads of work to do, though, mate.
Yes.
I've been saying this all week. I think we need more backup. Even if we sign, Jed Spence, I think we need to still improve on the right. I think even with Perisic, I think we still need to improve on the left. I think we still need a central midfielder who can do the low block, help us with the low block stuff. And I think we need a centre back and a forward. So there's still loads and loads of work to do. But right now, we've started the preseason really, really strongly, and I'm excited. I think we've got a really, really good chance. There's no competition that I think we'll struggle in. I think we'll do our best, and come what may, we'll see what happens. But I'm super positive, mate. Super positive.
Do you think we will be able to compete in the Champions League this season?
Yeah, I don't think we'll embarrass ourselves. I know people like Alex Davies says we're going to the Champions League. He says that top four doesn't matter anyway, and we'll just get bantered in the Champions League. I don't agree with that. In my opinion, I think there'll be games. There'll be games where we're really tested. If it depends on who we get in the groups, but I think that we'll be a match for anybody on our day. Even the toughest teams, even the best teams that want to come and we'll have to go and do the 5-4-1 thing again. We've got a squad that can break like we do. If we can beat City and compete with Liverpool, then we can compete with anybody. So I don't think we'll embarrass ourselves at all. And I can't wait for that Champions League music on Wednesday nights. It's going to be so refreshing to hear it. And
we're playing Wednesday. We're not playing Thursday.
Wednesdays,
yeah.
Thank God we have no more Thursday nights. I was getting sick of them, trying to do a fact file on fucking NS Moore. Thank God that shit's over. Leslie, I think it's only Sean that holds a season ticket. I don't. Kuva doesn't. Definitely, I don't think Bob, you do either.
I'll go to as many games. Obviously, like towards the end of last season, I didn't make many games because of certain things. But this season, making loads of games and a lot of footage will be from and hook up with the YouTube crowd. I don't think I've met you at a game yet, Shawnee. So that'll change this
You'll
season.
have fun with Shawnee, Bob.
Sorry, mate.
You'll have fun with Shawnee, my man.
Oh yeah.
Get battered.
There'll be I'm a bit more able now this season. So definitely making a lot more games this season.
No, that's the job. But look, before we kind of find out what Bob expects from Tottenham this season. If there is anybody actually out there, I was actually supposed to do this a few weeks ago. It's just jogged my memory. But if there is anybody out there that does go to games, all the home games and that, if you want to do match day blogs for the channel here, do get in contact and let me know. But Bob, what do you expect from Tottenham this season? You see the fixtures. Pre-season is literally starts in a month's time. It's the 16th today. First game kicks off against Roma or Sevilla on the 16th.
Yeah.
What do you want to see from Tottenham this season? What do you expect from us?
Progression. We saw it in abundance since Conte came in last season. The way we played, the stability of formation, the identity. With better players as well, man. There's only one way we're going to go, and that's up. What do I expect from this season? Kuva knows what I'm about to say. As cheesy as it sounds, last season was a bit of a shit show for me personally. But things changed after I came out of the coma and managed to watch games, and I watched nearly us win every single game till the end of the season. That came with the positive energy from within us, the community, the fan. Yeah, of course, there's some flip-flops, two-faced wankers out there, but each their own. We're within our community, our positive mindset. And I believe we did that. We helped them over the line to get that fourth position. I think we're going to win the league. I honestly think we're going to win the league next season. Man City will have to adapt with Haaland coming in. I know what Coover's going to say. He thinks Haaland's the best thing since sliced bread. Certainly Tesco sliced bread. But I think there'll be I think there will be a time to adapt. Liverpool look like they're losing Mane. I think Salah's the most overrated player in the Premier League. I think Chelsea are in turbulent moment at the moment. I think we'll win the league, and
love it.
I like that. Look.
I'll be interested, Dave. Just for everyone in the chat, I did this on my channel and I loved it. Just one number where you guys think Spurs are going to finish. Just a number. Don't have to explain. Just put a number in the chat where you think we're going to finish, what position we're going to finish this season, and it'd be interesting to see what they come up with. Sorry,
I was going to try and be realistic, Bob, but you've kind of got me pumped up. I mean, I'm kind of cat's out of the bag now. You know what I'm going to say. I believe every season we can win the league. So that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say it first. Every single season I go into it with optimism. I'm definitely going to say win the league. But I was going to keep it under wraps for a little bit longer, but Bob's let it out the bag today. So, the delusion train starts right here now today. Hopefully training me on this delusion train will actually be Coover. So, Coover, do you expect a quadruple this season?
Yeah, of course I do. My bet's already on £5.
Dave, I've got to be honest. Quickly, sorry, Cooper. Bob Spur is a very good arm twister. He came on my show yesterday. I think it was yesterday or maybe the day before. And I was like, categorically, no thank you to Richarlison. I was like, don't want him. I don't want him at any price. I don't think he's worth 20 million, let alone 65. And within 5 minutes, Bob Spur had me twisted. I was like, maybe he's got a point there. Let's get Richarlison. I'm on the Richarlison train now. So,
do you know what? While I have you here, we will actually talk about Richarlison and Basuma now in a minute. I would actually like to hear your thoughts on it. But before we do, Kuva, I mean, what do you expect to see from Tottenham this season? I know you said a quadruple, but what do you want to see from us?
Reigning trophies, sexy football, everybody going, my God, this is the best team ever. That'll do. Yeah. I won't settle for anything less than that.
Yeah. But you know what? Hopefully this season we can have a good, consistent season from start to finish, just picking up points. Not losing too many. I think that's a real possibility under Antonio Conte. The guy knows how to set up a team. We did end the season strong defensively. I still have my concerns in them areas, but I do think if you get in Basuma, that strengthens our midfield. You've got 4 midfielders there. No matter whether it's cup games, whether it's Premier League games, you're going to have a strong midfield. Obviously, I think we still need to maybe bring in a player or two in the 4 positions as well, but I'm really excited for this season, guys. I'm actually super excited. I really am. I think big things can definitely happen. I think it'll put an end to our trophy drought as well.
Dave, I do think, mate, as well, it's the way we finished last season, the 5-0 away to Norwich. That was the most unspursy, and I hate that word, but that was probably the most unspursy performance of the season for me. To go away to Norwich when we know we needed a point. Yeah. And normally we'd scrap out a 1-0 win after scoring in the 3rd minute or something. That, for me, showed where we are. And that summed up the season. That summed up the change that Conte's brought to this team. And the fans that day were absolutely... Ben and Sim, of course, they were there. And the way they say the atmosphere was amazing. Not so happy with the seating arrangements and whatever, but there were the atmosphere. And I think we'll carry that on. Coupled with... great players, good players coming in, potentially some more good players coming in. Conte, Harry Kane and Sonny getting better. Romero getting better. Not one striker got the better of Romero last season. Not a single striker. Yeah. And Haaland will be looking at Romero thinking, that's the defender I need to work on. Because Van Dijk's suspect of the pace. I really do think that. I think Romero has a chance to become the defender of the Premier League, like he was in Italy as well. I really do believe that. So I think we need to take on the positive vibes as a team, as a fan base, bring it over this season. If we do that at home, again in our home games, which I believe we will, Sean has experienced the Arsenal game and many other games firsthand. I don't think there'll be any issues with regards to our home performances. If we take our away fans are renowned to be one of the best ones away from home, man, it's all there. The ingredients are all there. They're all in the pot. It's a matter of stirring up, cooking that amazing dish and making sure we finish top of that pile. I think we'll win the league. I believe we'll win the league. And I think we all need to believe we can do that because positive thinking, man, anything's achievable.
There's a stat I'd like to bring. Oh, sorry, Sean, you got to shoot off, haven't you?
Yeah, I got to jump, guys. Mate, great to share the screen with you all. Thanks, everyone in the comments. Come on, you Spurs, and have a wonderful Thursday.
No, Sean, thank you very much for joining me this morning, my man. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to put the link for your channel in the chat here so that if there is anybody, that wants to, that hasn't subscribed to you already, they can get over and smash that subscribe button. So, Shawnee, I appreciate you today, my man. Thank you.
And cheers, get used to wishing people wonderful Thursdays, all those lovely gooners for a start.
See you guys. Take care.
My new favorite day of the week now, just waking up on Thursday, realizing they have to play that night. It'd be absolutely brilliant.
I think there's one stat. I love what Bob says. Obviously, he and I are very much in tune with the positivity around Spurs. There's one stat that I loved bringing up last season, and that was about Conte taking over. Conte's got a reputation for averaging 2 points a game throughout his career. He took over us in our state of absolute chaos and finished the season averaging exactly 2 points a game. Now, if you project that onto this season, that's a 76-point finish. But then you add on top of it, he'll have had a full preseason with the squad, which he hasn't had last season. And we've got quality players coming in. How many points is that going to add on to that 76? Exactly. Man City finished 17 points ahead. Can we close that kind of distance? It's a stretch, but it is doable. We got to keep that mentality. It's turning all those draws into wins, and it's getting a couple of those losses away. Well, we lost a lot. We lost 5 just under Nuno. I think we lost 5 under Conte for the rest of the season. Was it? Or was
we lost 6. 3 defeats. We lost 5 under Nuno in the first.
6 under Conte for the remaining 28 games.
6 defeats in 28 games.
Yeah. So we just have to transpose that over to this season, and you can see where the improvement can happen. And I think we're doing it. The likes of Perisic coming in, even the underrated ones like Forster coming in as. I don't see him as just back up to Hugo. I see him being rotated because there's going to be games where we are going to benefit from his huge height at the back there. Some of the teams will want to go route one with us. It'll be a great asset to have there. And push each other as well, as you should do every position. Just competition. It's healthy, and Hugo has been lacking that. He's been so undisputed for so long. Rightly so, he's been tremendous for us. But I think Forster's a really positive move because I think he's hungry to get back into the game and force himself into a first team again.
It's a dream come true as well, isn't it, Coop, for someone like Forster to come in?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then look at the likes of Kulusevski already here establishing himself. Yeah. Done more in, 4 months than Odegaard as their lot in the last 18 months. Yeah. It's just we're just so far ahead of some of this rubbish like that Thursday night lot. I mean, they are rubbish. I mean, look at their signings this summer. Oh, that's right.
Do you know why that is, though? It's because of the pull of the manager. People will want to come here and play under Conte. They look at Mikel Arteta and they're like, who? They're questioning the guy. Is that the guy that used to play for Everton? It's they don't want to play there. But Kuba, just to add to your point, not only that, outside of Liverpool and City under Antonio Conte, we picked up the most points in the Premier League, scored the most goals, if not scored some of the most goals around Europe last season. Kane, Son, and Kulusevski from 2022 alone are in the top. I think it's 5 or 6 in terms of goal contributions and stuff like that. So for me, I think it's very, very exciting going into this season if we can pick up where we left off last season. But guys, what I do want to talk to you about is, look, we are expecting the announcement of Yves Bissouma today. I mean, we'll start with you, Bob.
Very quickly, just to end up the Arsenal segment before moving on. They always saying believe in the process and everything. I certainly believe in their process. You know what else is processed?
Brilliant.
We should do a stream of just you, like title at Arsenal or something, just you holding up a load of props, pissing them off. That'd be absolutely brilliant. Brilliant.
I'm up for that.
Anything to wind up the Gooners.
Just complete rip Arsenal for an entire show, just constant. That'd be great. I love it.
No, it would. But guys, I do want to get your thoughts on Yves Bissouma, because look, a transfer business. I've seen a lot of streams around the place. How do I put it? It's a bit 50-50, our transfer business, from what I can make out. But what's your thoughts so far on it, Bob? And then hopefully Bissouma coming in today as well.
Yeah, Bissouma are right. I mean, I'm not watched Brighton week in, week out. I can only go by how he performed. And like Coover, I became a bigger fan of his after we played him. And he marked Kane. Yeah, he marked Kane out the game. He certainly looked after the likes of Højbjerg and Bentancur in midfield as well. And I think for the first time, I saw what he was capable of. And maybe that was, I went really high pitched there, but maybe that was a reason why Conte thought, yeah, let's put the scouts on him for the remainder of the season. We were linked with him about a year ago, weren't we, Dave, as well?
Yeah.
So I think that probably helped the decision. He's a quality player, man. He makes our midfield stronger. And I hope now, whereas before I wasn't all for Eriksen, but I hope we follow it up by bringing an Eriksen in as well, because that for me would complete the midfield purchases this summer. But the biggest surprise and probably the most disturbing thing I've learned from today's stream is Coover sitting with a pack of spam in between his legs. I suppose that's.
I was a bit worried where he pulled that out from. I don't know whether he has a mini fridge beside him.
It's warm meat though, Dave. So I think I kind of explained it all.
For you, Bob.
Bit of warm meat in between Coover's legs. That's going to be on his headstone. That's going to be on his headstone.
Touch on your point on Christian Eriksen, Bob. I was saying this was it this week or last week? Can't remember. But I've also changed my mind a bit on Eriksen.
Yeah,
it was this week, because I didn't want Eriksen to come back and be our main signing in the midfield.
That's it.
That was my biggest problem. I didn't want us to go back to relying on the old guard who kind of went away from. I didn't want to be from Tottenham. Having to go back on relying on him being the main sign, but bringing him in as an option, as a different option in that midfield, just to have extra bodies there. I'm not opposed to it anymore. And look, very well could end up coming to Tottenham, which I hope he does, because he's rejected contract from Brentford. I've seen reports of him saying, yes, Champions League is not the be-all and end-all, but he would like to be back in the Champions League. He likes Champions League nights, and I think he wants to keep his family in and around London as well. So it'd be very interesting to see if we could pull that one in over the line. Played 11 games last season for Brentford. 1 goal, 4 assists. It's not a bad return.
That's it. And he won't be a first teamer as well. Maybe he'd be happy with that. For him, I think after what he's gone through, I can speak from first-hand experience, unfortunately, but for him, it will be the family life, the loved ones around him that are going to be the most important thing to him. And if it means him coming into essentially what was home for him, yeah, of course, man, the last season or so has left a bit of a sour taste in majority of our mouths. But if we look at the quality he brings, there's only a few players who are available out there who can bring that. But I think bringing him in now would complete our midfield purchases, and it'd be a quality addition to the to the squad, and that's what we need, man. That's what we need.
Yeah, we have to remember, we finished the season, I think, on 14 fit senior outfield players by the time the injuries and everything else. We're not going to get through another season with the bare minimum that we had, or the bare minimum that Conte deemed acceptable to put out there, or even on the bench. So for me, I think we do have to look at getting in more signings and getting the strength in depth as well. But Bissouma for me is one that look, I really took note of this guy in that actual FA Cup game. I know we bet them 3-1 that day, but he scored and he ran absolute riot in that midfield up against Harry Winks.
I was in a coma for that one, so I wouldn't know.
I'm sorry about that.
Talk about it, yeah.
I don't even know what to say. You're making me feel awkward now, Bob. But look, he scored that game. Obviously, that's the same game Bentancur made his debut, but Kuva, are you happy with Basuma coming in here? Because you're always talking about getting in ballers, people that can do that can execute the basics, someone with a bit of skill about them. You know, players that you were used to seeing from your generation. Are you happy with Basuma coming in?
100%. He's the real deal. He adds that power and aggression. As Bob said, he marked Kane out of the game, but I'll take it a lot further than that. He just completely dismantled our entire midfield.
Yeah.
We just had nothing to cope with him. It reminds me of the sort of performances that Wanyama did against the Gooners before we picked up Wanyama. They were talking about they should sign him because he was destroying them. It's the same sort of deal, except for we actually go and get that sort of player, whereas Arsenal just, we forgot about him. That's why they're on Thursdays, isn't it? Okay. Oh, did I mention they're on Thursdays again? Sorry about that, Arsenal fans. Never mind. Yeah, Basuma's a level up, total level up. I mean, we've had this conversation over the season a lot, haven't we, David, about the likes of Højbjerg. And I get why people love Højbjerg. He's got a fantastic attitude. He is a good player to have in the squad. But this is the sort of one I'm talking about by the upgrade. He is upgradable, but Basuma is that upgrade. Whereas Højbjerg's got the sort of annoying tenacity about his game. He's all kind of like a mosquito. He won't leave players alone. They can't settle. And it's a great attribute to have. Basuma is the tank hitting them. As soon as he gets hold of the ball, they're not getting it back either.
Yeah.
He is a real step up. And because it solidifies that midfield, it also takes the pressure off looking at needing the defensive reinforcements quite so urgently. So he could take our time a bit, maybe wait for Bastoni a year or something. We need a little bit of extra at the back. I'll be disappointed if we don't get at least one player in there.
Yeah.
But Basuma's going to make a hell of a difference. That will also allow the wing backs to get forward more, which is one of the primary outlets for Conte's system in our attack.
Yeah.
Is if we're solid at the back, they can stay bombing up the pitch. They don't have to worry about coming back quite so often. It's not so urgent.
Let me ask you a question on that, Kuva, just quickly, because I do agree with you. I looked at times last season, and I do believe the wing backs were kind of held back because maybe we weren't so great on the ball. But this time, when you have players that, like someone like a Basuma who can literally pick up the ball and run with it, do you think the fullbacks will be allowed to bomb on a lot more this season than maybe perhaps what we've seen from last season, that they could even potentially play a lot higher up the pitch?
Absolutely. This is Conte's system. That is where your attacking width comes from. The fact we weren't doing it as well, being so disappointed with the likes of Emerson. I don't care if he can hold up the right back spot, so at least semi-competently. That's not good enough. You need to be a proper footballer. Bit of talent, bit of trickery, bit of pace, bit of aggression going forward. It's no good to just defend. They have to offer that. That's why I think Jed Spence's a bit of an unknown. So I'll neither slate him nor praise him. I don't know how he's going to do. Hopefully he hits the ground running. But I'll be looking at getting another wing back in and then getting rid of Emerson. It's the Resonator.
Okay, now what are you having over there, Bob? A slumber party?
Yeah. All swingers.
Yeah. I mean, he's got the robe.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, when you said you were going for a shower earlier, Rez, I didn't mean you meant round at Bob's.
Yes.
Yeah, and what kind of shower was he on about?
It was a good one.
Communal size.
Yes.
It's like you or the shower.
Column A, column B, mate.
You missed Kuva's spam.
What did he do?
Yeah, he had a bit of spam, I'm sure.
Really?
At least Rez has the flat cap on.
It's mandatory.
It's the Arteta process, Rez.
Fantastic.
Quality.
And that was between my legs. Yeah, it's very.
You know what, guys? Basuma for me, I think. Look, I think it will actually elevate the likes of Højbjerg, Bentancur, and Skip when he comes back from his injury to actually do better, to hopefully take them to a new level. But with him coming in, what my biggest positive from it is that when you put, no matter what midfielders you put out an M4, You know you're going to get a performance from them, which wasn't the case when we had the likes of Lo Celso, Ndombele, Dele Alli hanging around for the first half of the season. At least now you know exactly what you're going to get from the midfielders. Good, honest, hard-working midfielders. But not only that as well, it's likes of the FA Cup, League Cup games. Look, my belief is that the likes of Gil Messi and Dane Mbappe, players like that, they weren't actually given the best chance in some of them games to succeed because of the players that they were put out with on the pitch. You just didn't know what you're going to get. And then fat ass hauled off, against Morecambe, which should never, ever happen in their life. But you look at the midfield, no matter what midfielders we put out in them games, with some of the other players around them, we should actually be dominating them early rounds of the cup games as well. Because and if you're playing any youngsters out there with them, if it is with the likes of Højbjerg and Skip in midfield, for instance, you're giving them the best chance to succeed because they're out there with players that actually want to be at Tottenham, that are actually chasing for their places down, which I'm absolutely buzzing about. But the biggest one is Basuma, is the fact he gives us something in midfield that we don't have, a ball carrier, someone that can pick up the ball and go with it. He doesn't need to look for the pass. He doesn't need to look for the wing back. He can just pick it up and go. Can he bring what Moussa Dembele brought to this squad?
Oof.
I'm not so sure. That's an exceptional level to reach. I mean, the guy was a man mountain. You couldn't take him off the ball. But he gives you something like that, which is absolutely brilliant. Anyone else want to what's your thought?
I do think we do need to avoid the sort of comparisons with Dembele, because Dembele was a player in and of his own sort of category, if you like.
Yeah.
But I agree that what Basuma, the thing that I mean, I love Højbjerg, I love Bentancur, I love Skip, but the one thing that they struggle to do, or have struggled to do, is to impose themselves on the match and to actually say, right, I am in control of this midfield, right? And that, I'm hoping, is what Basuma will bring, with that physicality, with that strength, with that power that he brings. With that, it's a very raw, animal power that he will bring, which, Højbjerg and Bentancur are more your cultured side. I will agree that Højbjerg is a battler, but they're more cultured. Skip is still learning that, but he's got that lovely aggression to him as well. And I'm hoping that he'll pick up, and him and Basuma can sort of feed off each other. I just do want to answer For Earth Below's question about mandatory beardness. It's actually a nuanced question. A beard is not mandatory for men, but it is for women.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you can have what you want nowadays, So if you want to grow a beard as a woman, by all means, go and grow a beard. You shouldn't get any hate or be shamed upon. Don't expect lads to fancy you, but you shouldn't be. It's acceptable.
Beards are not a gender issue.
No, not in the slightest.
No, I know a couple of people in the chat. Craig Bowler, Dembele's end product wasn't great, and absolute ball Dembele didn't care. I mean, he wasn't really bought in for the end product. We talk about some of the greatest midfielders in the Premier League, Makelele, even recently Fernandinho. End product, they weren't there for the end product. They were there as a physical presence in midfield, and Dembele had that, and we hope certainly Basuma brings that. Dave,
do bear in mind that Dembele did start his career as a striker.
Yeah. I mean,
I think that was always the one gripe I did have against Dembele. Is I know we all knew he did have that in his locker. He has a terrific shot on him.
We just
didn't see that many goals.
Played far forward enough, really, to take advantage of it. I think.
Yeah, that's the thing. It was always a feeling of wanted to see sort of the Hollywood show reel rather than just the extremely competent but lesser stated one.
He had a Wanyama v Liverpool kind of shot in him. If you tried a bit, Dave. What I just want to ask you. And there is a reason why I'm asking you. Josh Keeley, who we've brought in, I don't expect him to feature within the first team squad from St Patrick's Athletic, the most Irish-sounding football club you can ever get. Do you know much about him, mate?
Do you know what, Bob? I've gone and done a bit of digging on this guy. I've asked people around that kind of work with St. Pat's or being in and around it. Look, the guy, I can't remember, it's 6'1", 6'3" at the age of 19. He's very, very highly rated. He has only made a couple of actual senior appearances for the St. Patrick's at Athletic in the Irish League. He hasn't made too many appearances, but he did help them win their league at under 19 level. He's very, very highly rated within Ireland, within the game, but he is one for the future. You look at our academy, we got rid of 5 goalkeepers this summer, right throughout the academy. You look at the staff we're after bringing in, your man Davies, who will be head of methodology, who will, I think, basically what that means is he'll be trying to apply what we're doing at senior level right the way through the age group so that they're playing that same system the same way. You look at the likes of Scalding coming in, you look at the players he's identified for Rangers, young English talent like Bassi out of the Leicester Academy, etc., etc. Greta Steinson, I'm not 100% sure on this guy. I'm not sure whether he's going to work out coming in as Paratici's number 2, but you look at the signings he brought in for Everton, like Ben Godfrey, youngsters from Norwich and stuff like that. So it's fun to see, to me, that we do actually have one eye on the future. And the fact that we got rid of 5 academy goalkeepers and we're bringing this guy in, I'm hoping now that we're actually identifying quality over quantity, just like we've been doing in the transfer market so far. And I hope that this guy now is the guy that they've identified to maybe come up through the ranks and make the Tottenham first team. Look, when was the last time we had a goalkeeper that's come through the ranks to beat Tottenham number 1? You know, it's been a hell of a...
Ian Walker, that was the last one. And oh my Lord.
What I will say is it's a good signing for that underage team. I think Spurs play, Spurs are releasing that platform. Spurs play very, very soon. So you'll get to watch a lot of the under-21 games on there. And I reckon that's where you'll see him feature mainly. But with the potential of hopefully getting into the Tottenham team in future, because with Ireland at the minute, we actually are in a hotbed of goalkeepers. You've got Bazunu, who's just joined Southampton from Man City.
You mentioned Bazunu a few months ago, didn't you? Yeah.
Everyone hears me talking about this guy. Watch him. Look, he may make a few seasons a few mistakes this season at Southampton. If he is number 1, he made a couple when he first came into the Ireland team, but his distribution is just exactly like Ederson's. It's absolutely sick. And he's come on leaps and bounds since he's come into the team. You've got Kelleher. You've got Travers, who had a full season at Bournemouth. You know, you go to the under-21 level. You've got young Talbot there. You've got the guy at Bohemians. And then this guy as well. So Ireland are actually producing a lot of good goalkeepers at the minute. But this guy is very, very highly rated in the game. But I wouldn't expect to see him play this season. I'll be honest.
I think Wiseman probably go out on loan again. I think Leslie's asking, will Austin be number 3? But I think, you know, if Keeley does stay in and around the first team, Austin, I'd rather have them learning off Lloris or watching, sponging off Lloris and Forster than Lloris and Galini any day. Oh, Lord, so I think Forster probably that probably was in their mindset, Dave, that someone coming in with over 50 European appearances and someone with hardcore Premier League experience. I think that's 2 keepers that you can really, really look upon and learn off, certainly.
100%. If he doesn't learn from the likes of Hugo Lloris and Fraser Forster, well, then for me, that's on him. He shouldn't need to be told that. He should already be thinking, I can't wait to get in there and just be a sponge and soak it all up. But look, who knows with this guy? Because Hugo Lloris did say I think it was when he signed his contract, that he wants a say in his replacement and he wants to work with them. Now, whether they've identified this guy at such a young age that maybe he could come in, because we have to remember, how long have we had Hugo Lloris now? Since 2012. You know, he's here, 10 years now? 10, 11 years now. You know, it's absolutely a long time. So maybe he could work with this guy and hopefully get him to come through. But guys, maybe the last person we will talk about before we end off is maybe Richarlison, because he's one that splits the fan base. Now, look, I'll just quickly give my point of view on it, and then we'll get your guys. For me, I actually think Richarlison would be a good signing. Look, I'm not a fan of the price tag. Don't get me wrong. I do think it's extortionate. But what this guy offers is cover for Harry Kane, which is most important. And he can also give cover to Son. He can play on the left side where Son plays. And for me, look, Bob, we had the debate about Vinicius Scarlett. Now, for me, I wanted to keep around Scarlett because I thought he'd benefit a lot more from the minutes than what Vinicius would. But look, this season he does have to go out on loan. Scarlett has to go out on loan, a bit like Troy Parrott, and get that first team football underneath his belt. But then, like this is where I was at with you last season when we were talking about I don't want someone like I want someone like a Richarlison who's Premier League proven. He knows where the net is. He can score goals. Yes, you look at his stats this season; they're not the greatest. Some people look at Rafinha's, Dennis from Watford, and say maybe get these guys. But you have to remember, Richarlison has played a lot of the season under Rafa Benitez. He is the most defensive manager I've ever seen in my life. We all know his sort of football. But for me, I think Richarlison, you go back, look what he done at Watford, Everton. Okay, it hasn't worked out at Everton as the way he would like it to. But the next step for him is one of the big clubs. He's a Brazilian international. He plays in that Brazilian team. He is not a bad player. For me, he's one that you can definitely look at off the bench and say, get yourself on there. You have a chance of making a difference, rather than some of the players we've looked at on the bench this season. Again, not the biggest fan of the price tag, but for me, I look at the guy, and do you know what? I also look at some people put it down to like, what's the right word? Like petulance and stuff like that. But I look at his anger, his passion. If you got the right man, which I think someone like Conte is, you could almost channel that to get someone like a Suarez, a Tevez, a Rooney that uses that aggression, that passion, that chases down the back line, hunts for absolutely everything, fights for absolutely everything, and just becomes an absolute nightmare. And for me, I think Richarlison can definitely do that. But look, we'll go to you, Kuva. What's your thoughts on Richarlison?
Yeah, I mean, Bob and I spent a lot of yesterday talking about him. We're both agreed we think he'd be a really good addition to the squad. I don't think he should be looked as a backup. He's properly used in rotation with the team. Yeah. It's so good that he can play in any of the forward positions. But for me, what sets him apart from some of the other ones we're linked with is his ability to hold the ball up, use his strength, bit of aerial ability. It means he can properly fill in for the Harry Kane's role as the target man, as well as those other positions. And like you said, his work rate's phenomenal as well. So Conte will love that. Other players, his teammates will love that about him as well. And I think for comedy value, the pre-match punch-up between him and Romero will both get them psyched up for the match when they go on black eyes and missing teeth. The other team's going to be in real trouble at that point. So I think he'd be a great signing. Price is definitely an issue because, as we know, we've got several positions we want to reinforce. But for me, I don't mind spending a bit extra on Richarlison because of the way he fits that from what we need up front and the versatility and the fact he can cover Kane. Because we're making very good signings at very cheap prices in other places. Isn't it funny now? We've all been calling out for Levy to get the wallet out, and we're praising the value of some of the signings coming in. The irony in that is just ridiculous.
It's never been. I'm delighted with the prices we're getting these players in at, and it's sad. It is absolutely.
It really is. But yeah, that is the reality. That's what's happening at the moment, and it just goes to show that it's like a few of us been saying. It's not about the amount of money on the players; it's getting the right ones in. It's always been the issue with Levy. He's made big money signings. I mean, look at Ndombele. Disastrous though. It's working with a director of football that clearly seems to know what he's doing so far. Hopefully he continues that going. I'm not going to call him the Don yet. I know you love saying that, David, but
by the end of the window you will. By the end of the window, you will.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe he'll be on the path to justifying that sort of tag. Yeah,
Donhood.
Now, by the end of the window, I'll be chasing you around, Kuva. If you have a good window, I'll be chasing you around to say it. I'll chase everybody around to say it.
A baby Donlet.
Look, I know the nickname. I know the nickname annoys a lot of people, but at the end of the day, it's just a bit of fun. You know? So, look, the way I see it, some people like to put people down before they already get here. A.k.a. Kulizeski, Bentancur. They were rejects before they even got here. I like to beat them up and give them nicknames. I do not see a problem with it. It's how I like to support the club. But everyone else is entitled to have their skepticism before these people even get here.
I'll put them down after they get to the club. They're both shit. No, I'm kidding.
Look, football's all about it's all about opinions. Everyone sees it through a different lens. You know, at the end of the day, that's what it's about. But look, Bob. And we'll get Rez as well. What's your thoughts on Richarlison? Would you be happy with Richarlison? I'm not going
to talk about the price tag because I know Rez has got his own views on that. But Richarlison, Kuva knows what I'm going to say, and so does Rez. I would love him. I would absolutely love him at Spurs. For me personally, that would be a statement signing. I really rate the guy. One thing, most people know what I thought of Lamella. I thought every time he scored a Rabona, he'd get a 3-year extension. But one thing I do miss about one thing I do miss about him is his shithousery. And apart from Romero, who else have we got?
Yeah.
Richarlison has got 5 years worth of Premier League experience. He's got 10 to 15 goals season in, season out. You can play anywhere along the front three. I'd rather have, if Sonny, Kulusevski or Kane went down, I'd rather have him as an option than a Mora or a Bergwijn. And Dave, you know how much I like Bergwijn, how much I always have. His shithousery, the amount of free kicks he'd win in and around the area, penalties he'd get for us, the way he'd wind up people as well. He's got a shot on him in the half. And let's be honest, he kept a Premier League team up. He kept Everton
6 out
up
of his
last
last
season.
9 games, Bob. 6 in his last 9.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not a case if he crumbles under pressure. He always shows. He always has a good game against us, man. Remember Goodson Park, FA Cup, under Jose? We lost 5-4. Sanchez got a double, didn't he? He was immense that game. He always plays well against us. And having Richarlison against an Arsenal, a City away, a Chelsea, man, I would love him. His Kleenex rating 10 for me with regards to.
Is that too play now, Bob? Is that too play?
Yeah.
Foreplay.
He's on to his second
Good
box.
bit of foreplay.
That's it. I mean,
Yeah.
the price is an issue that not an issue, a conversation that Rez will talk about. But for me, as a player, I would love him. It is way ahead of Jesus for me, way ahead of Rafinha for me. As a personal option, I would love him. And is it going to happen? We don't know. But I would absolutely love him at our club. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm definitely along the lines with that, Bob. But look, Rez, I mean, what's the issue with the price tag? I get it. It is a bit extortionate, but look, take it away, my man.
No, that's the thing. I mean, ultimately, it boils down to this, right? A lot of people have sort of have expressed concern about the amount of money that he might cost.
Right, so to an extent.
Potentially, but at the same time, people have got to. I've been banging on about this basically since pretty much the first stream I ever appeared on. We've got to get out of this mindset of thinking that there's a pot of money, right, like a self-contained container, into which we're putting, our pennies and stuff every so often, and then when the summer comes, we smash open this jar, see how much we've got, and then we're going to go and spend as much of that as we can. It doesn't work that way. Football finance is completely different from that now. So when you get a player that say costs 70 million, there is never any kind of, bank balance, statement that comes along that says, 70 million or 70 with 6 zeros after it, debit card payment, Everton Football Club. Doesn't work that way. Yeah. When you pay for the player, the amount that you're going to pay is going to be spread across, first of all, the length of the first contract, usually. Yeah. Second of all, the thing you've got to bear in mind is that because, Spurs and Everton is not the first time they've ever done business, there'll be a payment schedule already in place between Spurs and Everton for previous business they might have done at some point. I mean, I know for a fact that we bought Pinar from them. We sold them Sigurdsson. There's a relationship there already. And so what happens when you purchase a player like that is that they look at the existing payment schedule between the two clubs and say, how can we adjust what we already have? Then you've got to take into consideration that there'll be payment schedules with other clubs whereby, say, for instance, player A has gone from Spurs to Middlesbrough to Everton. That will also affect the payment schedule. So this idea that Richarlison will cost 75 million euros, and I was on Twitter saying that I think 75 million rupees might be a high price. But if that's the price that it will cost to bring in a player, and that player is the priority, it's not a case of, well, we've spent 70 million on Richarlison, we can't spend 70 million on, say, Martinez. Yeah, of course you can. It depends on what payment schedule you set up, what contract you sign with that player, what adjustment or what schedule you've got with the buying and the selling club and any other clubs that are potentially involved. That's why player contracts now are usually about that thick, Whereas Jimmy Greaves's first contract with Spurs, which I've got a PDF copy of, is only 6 pages long, right?
Yeah.
Because the finance now is so complicated that this idea that there's a war chest and it contains actual money in a bank somewhere and that's what gets spent is completely false. So we shouldn't worry too much about whatever price it is. If Richarlison is the priority, it's the number one priority. Conte says, I want him, forget the price. Pay whatever it is that you can negotiate with the selling club, be that 70 million, be that 30 million plus players, be that 25 million plus extras, whatever it happens to be, because a club that's got a turnover of 330 odd million pounds a year can afford it.
Yeah.
And obviously we could put Winks into that conversation as well as part of parcel deal. We know 70 million euros is basically a touted amount. We know in realist we'll probably potentially get him for about 55 million pounds. Put Winks in there, 15, 20. We're talking 30 million, just over 30 million for a player like Richarlison. I'd have him, man. I'd have him. If it came down to the choice between a Rafinha, even a Martinez, because he's not proven, and a Richarlison, and I know I'm in the minority, and I know the comments are going to go wild, but for me, Richarlison all day long, man. All day long.
I agree with you. Look, I seen Danny on Twitter the other day putting Rafinha out there. But Rafinha can't play up front, and I wouldn't want him to come in here in hopes of trying to get him to play up there either. I mean, he's an out-and-out winger. Look, I really like Rafinha. I think he can definitely add goals from the wings. Look, fuck it, why not go and get two of them? But I definitely would rather bring in Richarlison because he offers more cover to more of our better players like Kane and Son than what maybe a Rafinha does. But look, at the end of the day, we've all said it. If you want the player, it doesn't matter about the price tag. Go and get the player. So hopefully we can. But it wouldn't surprise me if Dave came looking for Harry Winks. We've said 30, 35 million. And then we've gone back looking for Richarlison and said, okay, 70 million. It really wouldn't surprise me. I mean, we can't really give out as Spurs fans about a team trying to extort us when we've tried to. We're like, it's Daniel Levy is a notoriously hard person to negotiate with. Every director of football will tell you that in the Premier League. So we can't really sit here and complain about, what they're asking for at the end of the day when we've got rid of some players before for money and they're like, we've got 10 million for Carter Vickers, 6 million plus 4 million add-ons. The guy hasn't played for Tottenham in 5 years. Yeah. I mean, that's absolute extortion. It's absolute extortion. But look, guys, I think we definitely will leave it there. I want to go around, give everybody a chance to plug their channels. We'll start with you, Bob. I mean,
very, very quickly, I'll just add to that about
go on.
Offsetting the price of Richarlison with Everton. It's so easy because they'll take anything, won't they? I'm thinking about getting a skip out the front of the house and clear out the garage and send it up to Goodison Park.
See, we also have to remember that Gazprom that they got, who was a big brought in big money for them, that Russian thing. They're gone. So everything now need to sell players to be able to act in this market. They're not in a great position financially either. So there's definitely a deal to be done there, and we will get our man if we put the pressure on. 100%.
Yeah. And last thing on Richarlison, 25 years old, man. He's still yet to hit his peak. Mm. He can become a legend if he comes to Spurs. I'll put it out there, definitely.
The interesting one for me is how about Richarlison and Jesus?
Yeah.
See, that's not bad because if you've got 3 forwards, you play with 3 forwards as your default system, you need 5 to provide rotation and cover for injury, right? So you get Richarlison and Jesus in, they can both play anywhere across the front 3, really, within reason. That's your 5 set up.
Exactly.
You don't need any more.
Yeah. Happy days.
Yeah. I'll be honest, guys, I'm not the biggest fan of Jesus.
I'm not.
I'm really not. I know a lot of people are going to cane me for it, but like if we're going for strikers, I would actually rather have a Richarlison in here than a Jesus, in my opinion. But look, if there was a potential to get bought, I definitely wouldn't be turning my nose up. Like I said, we need strength in depth.
I'd get a Dennis in instead of Jesus. I really would. I know. Yeah, I can't be a hypocrite and say I don't rate Salah because I think he misses sitters. Yeah, I can. But Salah for me he's overrated. The amount of chances he misses, and I think Jesus misses way too many chances, man. I don't rate him that much.
He also has silly hair.
Yeah.
There's a reason why he ended up playing out on the wing this season, even though City were crying out for a striker, in my opinion. And a lot of people saying, like, you know, they're wanking themselves off to Pep. Oh, look at this. He's playing without a forward. He only playing out with a forward because we didn't sell him Harry Kane. That's the only reason why. He didn't want to. He had to. He was forced to. And as well, because Gabriel Jesus is not the sort of guy that, for me, you can state your claim on to go and get you the goals. That's why Pep Guardiola was using them out wide and stuff like that.
And again, it's another lesson for us that Man City couldn't sign Kane. So what do? Do they sign a panic replacement?
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
They wait for the quality.
Hopefully we're getting ourselves into that position, Kuva, because you did say it with Bastoni. So look, let's wait and see. But Bob, what can people expect coming up on your channel? I see you're doing a lot of these early morning streams, lad.
Today's going to be the last one, man. The only reason I did it yesterday because my 7-year-old was going on his first camping trip. The reason I've done it today is, obviously the fixture list, but he was coming back from his camping trip. But
is that camping or camping?
Oh, very camping. He's. I might do some 9 o'clock. I don't think anyone's streaming really, so it's getting me back into that waking up early time frame, which I'm going to need obviously when I get back to work. But what's coming up? Saturday nights, as always, 10:45 in the Wall. We'll be having guessed the movie poster, conspiracy theories, things not to say on a first dinner date, and of course Wankety Wank. Yeah, that'll be back. Wank. Dave, your appearance was brilliant. I actually thought you were gonna literally die from laughter.
Bob, honestly, do you know what? I've been having a problem all season, lad. Even like celebrating a goal, I'm not breathing. I'm not taking in enough air, and I'm nearly passing out. And that's what it was like that night when I was going red laughing, because I wasn't breathing in and taking in the air. So I was nearly passing out, lad.
Note to self: don't let David play Wankety Wank.
Yeah. How did Dave die? Oh, he's playing Wankety Wank. Ridiculous.
Yeah. That'll be on your head. That'll be on your headstone. Wankety Wank got me.
Well, you're loving up on chalk beyond the wall on you. How many guests you killed on?
Yeah.
There we go.
No, I actually really enjoyed coming on. I actually really enjoyed that. I had a good laugh. Maybe I took it down the route. I know Bob wants it to go down that route. I know it's not everybody's sort of flavor, but, you know, I really, really did enjoy it. Everybody, get over to Bob Spur TV. I've made it easy for you. The link is in the chat. Just click on it, get over there, and smash that subscribe button. Bob,
just on that, Dave, as well. It is different and it is X-rated, and I don't make any apologies for that. It's a Saturday night, man. Bunch of lads chilling out. It's exactly the conversation we'd have at a pub. People are free to come in and join in or not. But the fact we're getting numbers on a Saturday night and they're enjoying it, people enjoying it, getting great feedback. Like I say, I'm surprised.
Most of them are lock-ins.
Who
don't have things, but it still counts.
It's different, man, and I'm happy. Yeah, of course, we go a bit too far at times, but life's too short, man. Life's too short.
Nah, fuck it. Look, at the end of the day, it's only a bit of a laugh, you know what I mean? That's all it is at the end of it. But you know what, Bob? Fair play to you, because this community needs something like that. A bit of fucking liveliness, a bit of a laughter, you know, away from all the serious shit and everything else, you know, that's going on. You know, you just need something like that to maybe liven things up. So everybody, please get over there and check out Bob Spur TV. Rez, will come back to you. I did put your link in there as well. Coover usually bigs you up when he's on here anyway, and again, you know, puts you up. But Coover, are we going with Shelfside Spurs?
Coover is the official Shelfside Spurs show.
No, frankly, I'm disgusted with Shelfside Spurs at the moment.
Yeah,
summer hiatus.
I know.
It's
because you know it's about quality, and we need some recharge time to do that.
It's always about the quality. Yeah,
put out. You know,
that's absolutely. It's what I like to think I'll bring to Bob's show on Saturday nights, because some people get out of hand on that. I like to think put us back on the even keel and more professional.
Really sort of just, you know, calm, oil over troubled waters type thing.
Absolutely.
Coover's going to take this as a compliment, but he's probably the most perverted, disgusting human being I've ever known. But it's just what we need on a Saturday night.
I tune in. I usually listen playing my FIFA. Do you know the way you have the weekend league on Ultimate Team? Yeah. So I usually play in trying to get through them 20 games. So I remember tuning in there a couple of weeks ago. The first thing I heard was some guy lying down naked in the frozen pea section or something like that. I was just like,
that was Coover, yeah.
No, Coover's a very good addition to the panel. He takes
mental note. David plays with his joystick while listening to Wankety Wanky. Oh
yeah. Absolutely. I definitely do for sure. Rez, the chef side Spurs. What's coming up, my man?
At the moment, there's nothing on the docket from us. I'm sort of going around different streams, doing my usual media whore thing. I'm sure at some point we'll be coming back with stuff, but I think everyone wants a bit of a recharge because it was a bit of an intense season, really, for us. And so, just keep an eye out for us. I'm sure that, if nothing else happens, we will definitely be back in August. And in the meantime, there's some interesting content out there, discussions about whale seamen, ducks and their proclivities, let's say, and plus bits and pieces about Spurs as well. We're hoping to do more sort of clip videos or little videos from in and around the ground when the season starts. And just go over to Shelf Side Spurs Show, 4 S's, like and subscribe, check out some of our content from across the season. And then, once we start up again, please come and join us. It'd be great to have you.
Darryl Denton, wrong show.
I just spotted Darryl Denton's comment.
Wrong show, Darryl.
Yeah.
Wrong show.
Yeah. Do not bring that up.
You can't bring it up.
It is a bit below the belt, that. Yeah.
Dave's disgusted on his own show.
It's only 12:30. I mean, if you're going to be doing that, Darren, Brian Daigle's on We Are Tottenham TV. We are going to end off now. Look, I'm going to give everyone the option. I'm going to put the We Are Tottenham TV link in because they are the next one on here, guys. Whether you want to go over and do an Irish Hotspur raid or a dwarf porn raid, I don't really mind. But just get over there and do it just for the crack. Let's wind them up, guys. Get over there. Dwarf porn raid or Irish Hotspur raid. Look, guys, I'm pretty sure we'll be back doing something here later on the channel. So we'll hopefully see you all back here later on today.
Can I be really cheeky and just give 3 more little big ups to some of the other channels because I haven't got my own.
Yeah, work away.
Ben Kaufman on the coffee coffee company.
Live today, isn't he? Goes live at 3.
It's fantastic little stream. That one is so
barbecue
chilled.
Barbecue special tomorrow as well. Barbecue special tomorrow.
Such a chilled stream until Bob and his not get on Friday.
I always have a problem when I type it in. When he's live, it's no problem. It comes up. But I have a problem typing it in. How'd you type it in?
Also 3 Spurs boys with Bobby Kay and his 2 lads. Really up and coming channel, and they're doing really well. There's a lot of fun going on there. I know you've been on there, David, you and Jack. So they're doing well. Nice to give them a big up. And also recently, first time I've really been on stream with him, but Sava Talk Spurs I was on yesterday, and he's got some great opinions. He's made quite a name for himself for a lot of wrong reasons because he's quite aggressive with his opinions. But when you really sit down and really listen to what he's saying, he is so bang on with so much of it. So get over and give him a like as well, please.
100%.
No, okay. 100%. Well, guys, We Are Tottenham TV are live now. After that, then get over to the Coffee Company Ben's channel. He'll be live at, I think, 3 o'clock today is usually the time he goes live.
2 o'clock, Dave. 2 o'clock, Dave.
2 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, yeah.
So, guys, get over there. So, We Are Tottenham TV, then Ben Kaufman's channel, guys. So, they're the next couple streaming. But, look, we'll see you all back here later. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Really appreciate your time this morning. A massive thank you to Sean, Kuva, Bob, and Rez as well for coming on and having a chat with us and helping me get through an hour of content. Absolutely brilliant. And guys, we'll see you all back here soon. Come on, you Spurs. In content we trust.
Come on, you Spurs. The quad is on.
Yeah.